Hello viewers, I'm Louie, and today I'm going to show you a camera that is quite special from my collection, and this time it's being this 1955 Praktina FX. This Praktina FX was made in East Germany between 1953 until 1960, and this was a quite brand new concept because this was the very first professional grade or professional quality 35mm camera, and at the time there was no such thing as a professional 35mm camera. The closest thing was, I suppose, IHG Exacta, but it wasn't qualified as professional despite it was built very well, and also it is such a piece of engineering, but it wasn't intended for professional quality. Well, this was made with professional quality in mind from the day one, and so let's have a tour of 1955 Praktina FX, and we start from here. This is the rewind knob. Yep, being 1950s, the rewind is still a knob, so you do it very slowly. And then below that there is a film reminder. Yeah, as the name suggests, it reminds you the film that you're putting inside the camera. There is black and white, but sadly it's in DIN instead of usual ASA. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what it corresponds to the ASA because I don't really familiar with DIN. You know, this is being German camera, obviously it's in DIN. And also there's for the color, both for daylight and also tungsten. And in here, this is the pentaprism, which is, in this case, it's the standard eye level finder, you can see. And then in here, it's what they call concentral. So on the very top, it's the film winding knob, and then just below that, it's a very tiny one. So that's the film counter, and this is manually reset. So after you load the film, remember to set the film counter to 0 or 1. And below that, this is also a quite new concept at the time, and that is shutter speed dial, and that is just a single dial for both the fast and slow shutter speeds. And in this period of time, in 1950s, it was quite common to use a dual dial for shutter speeds. Usually the bigger ones for the faster shutter speeds, like from 1/30th up until 1,000th of a second, and the slower one is usually a smaller one. Sometimes it's on the top in here, or maybe usually it's on the front. It'd be tiny, and usually it's the Leica that started the trend. However, with this, you just have a nice big single dial, and it can rotate to any direction that you want, and it is stepless as well, although in some speeds you have to set the speed onto the correct number, like the bulb obviously. And yeah, the shutter speeds go from bulb and then full 1 second up until 1,000th of a second, which is very impressive back in 1950s. I almost forgot. And yeah, this is the shutter release button. It is on the front, big, and a bit angled, so it is very comfortable to use. Yeah, that's the B bulb speed. And just below that, this is the self timer. So what you have to do, cock the shutter, and then you simply rotate this counterclockwise as far as it goes, and then you simply just let go it. There you go. And in here, these are for the flash synchronization terminals. On the top is for the X, or for modern electronic, and the bottom one is for the F, for the flash bulbs, old school flash bulbs. And in here, maybe you may be wondering, what exactly is this? What is this for? So this is quite interestingly Praktina's idea, traditional viewfinder like this. And yeah, it's a bit weird because usually you see this on rangefinders, not SLRs. And the reasoning behind they did this is because sometimes the lighting that is available is a bit too dim, so you simply cannot really use the normal viewfinder in here. Yeah, the viewfinder itself is a bit dim. In the 50s, yeah, it's a bit dim. Not until 1960s that the viewfinder starts to be brighter, and you can see and focus better. So at the time, the solution was this additional viewfinder. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it works just fine, although it's not correspond to the actual 50mm. Instead, I think it's a little bit more 70mm focal length instead of 50. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but hey, it works, I guess. And oh yeah, I almost forgot. Geez, that this Praktina FX was built by a company in Dresden, East Germany, called KW, or in German it's KW, which stands for Camera Werkstätten. I think the design is also very beautiful. It's very handsome. This looks quite similar with the Contax S or Contax D, Contax F, and also a bit like Praktika. More budget-friendly camera, and that's because they were all designed by the same guy. His name was Siegfried Boom. So yeah, there you go. He was initially the designer for Zeiss Icon company, and then after the World War II, the Soviets tasked him to move to KW. So yeah, that's why he moved. He borrowed some of the Zeiss Icon design into here, but I think it's quite beautiful. It's very nice to see, and surprisingly still looks quite modern for what it is. I really love the design. And anyway, yep, on the front it's the lens. In here, the fitted lens is the Carl Zeiss Sienna Tessar 50mm f2.8. So yeah, this is the standard lens for this camera, Praktina FX. And the lens is the semi-automatic type, and that is open up the aperture so you can focus better using this weird lever in here. So what you do, first cock shutter, and then select the aperture that you want by first pressing the collar towards you to the back, and then rotate until you set it to your desired f number for aperture. And as you can see, the aperture stops down in here. I don't know if it's visible or not. And then to open that up, you slide this lever to the right, and that opens the aperture. There you go. And then now fully open, so the viewfinder is much brighter, and also you can focus more easily. And then you focus with, and then right when you press the shutter button, the aperture will stops down to the opening that you have just selected. There you go. So yeah, this is actually a bit more improvement from the fully manual aperture. That is, yep, very old school, and sometimes maybe a little bit frustrating if you forget to set the aperture, or you have to when you have to set the aperture every time you have to focusing. Yeah, I know the pain, really pain in the ass. And then behind the aperture ring is the focusing ring in here, and yeah, it's a little bit hard to rotate, but yeah, it's quite smooth, but just a bit hard to rotate due to the age, even though this is just has been CL8. Yeah, maybe just that's how it is. It goes from half a meter up until infinity, and it has a quite long throw, so yeah, you can focus very accurately with this thing, which is nice. And also in here it's the lens mount, and this is very weird because this is for the first time the bridge lock type was introduced. So with the bridge lock type, when you have to remove the lens or dismount the lens, first you have to rotate this silver ring thing anti-clockwise, and then simply, yeah, there you go. So this is the reverse of the Canon's bridge lock, which is mounted on the lens. In here it's mounted on the body itself. It's very interesting to look at. And when it's open, you can see that the mirror is gone, and it's not gone, it's just the mirror sits on the top when you're not cocking the shutter, and when you cock the shutter, the mirror will go down. See that? And when you press the shutter button, the mirror will rise up again. Yeah, that is just how SLRs worked back then. It's very old school, but I like it. And the downside of that is, if you not cocking the shutter, you cannot use the viewfinder, because yeah, the viewfinder goes dark when the mirror is in the opposition. So yeah, you have to remember that. And on the bottom, it is a bit barren, but you can see in here it's quite interesting, because this is the first time ever that a 35mm camera is ready for to be mounted with a motor drive, back in 1955. This is very cool. So back then, initially KW offered a spring powered motor winder or motor drive, which is very cool. So it is a bit big, so you put it on the bottom, and on the bottom is the spring winder. So you ratchet it, and when you finish, that spring will automatically wind and cock the shutter for you. This is very cool. I have never seen that before. So yeah, it's basically not using any batteries at all. No electricity was needed, which is simply a marvel. Yeah, I can't believe that they actually did that. The motor winder works quite similar with the the toy that you have to ratchet, break, and the toy will go shoots away from you, something like that. Yeah, that's how it basically works. It's very interesting. Meanwhile, in here, this is the release for rewinding the film. So what you have to do, you press and hold this after you finish the roll, and while you're doing this, you have to rewind with the knob. Yeah, this takes forever. Yeah, that's how they do it back then. In here, this is a tripod socket. I believe it's a 1/4 inch, which is quite modern at the time. This viewfinder is actually removable and interchangeable, in fact. So to remove the viewfinder, first you have to open the lock, which is in here. Yeah, it's on the bottom, just on the bottom of the lens mount, I mean, sorry. And you slide this thing, and it shows Z. So you slide this thing to the Z, and then it reveals A. So when A is visible, now you can remove the viewfinder. Just pull this to you. There you go. This is how you remove the viewfinder from in Praktina. Here you go. You can see this is the pinto prism. This is so cool to see. And I don't know if it's visible, but this says KW in here, and then Germany on the right. So cool to see. And yeah, this is the view of the focusing screen of the Praktina FX. Very cool to see. And this is the standard focusing screen for the Praktina FX, and it has split finder in there, and you can actually interchange that as well. Surprisingly, to remove that, you have to pull this retainer on the top and the bottom of the focusing screen, and after that you simply rotate this upside down, and there you go. The focusing screen is now ejected. But you just be careful when you're doing that. And I have this. So this is the leather case for this is the leather case for the waist level finder for Praktina FX. So what you have to do, you slide this just like that, and there you go. It's in place already. Now to open this, you simply push this little silver button. Here you go. This is so cool. And to put down the loop, you pull this down in here. There you go. So that's the waist level finder. There you go. So you might be wondering, what is the purpose of this waist level finder? It looks a bit awkward, but yeah, there are some actually benefits for this waist level finder. The first is you can use this when you want to take a photo from a very low angle, so like this, and then you simply just look from the top like this, top down, and there you go. The second, which is quite interesting, so back then some concert goers use some professional cameras like Nikon F, and with Nikon F the system is pretty much the same like this. So with a waist level finder, as you might know that in concerts there are so many people, and you want to take photos of your favorite band on the stage, but there was one problem, and that is, as I said before, so many people, and you might be were not that tall, so you cannot really take good photos. However, if you have Nikon F, or in this case Praktina FX, you can do this. So you turn the camera upside down in here, and then do this, and put this very high up, and then you can see it's just upside down, and you can actually still take photos with that thing with this configuration. Yeah, there you go. It's very ingenious way to take photos. Yeah, providing you have waist level finder like this. And yeah, the last reason why you might want to do this is because, yeah, probably you're on the streets and you don't want to raise the attention of the people around you when you're about to take a photo, because usually when people see you're doing this, they're possibly a little bit shy, yeah, you know, kind of thing. However, if they see you're doing like this, they might think that you're just adjusting your camera settings, and they probably wouldn't know that you're actually still taking photos. Yeah, that's the another reason. This, there you go. And yeah, however, with waist level finder, the downside is the image in this viewfinder is reversed from left to right, so the left becomes left and left becomes right. So if I go to here, in the viewfinder actually goes to here, and it will be a little bit disorienting when you are not used to it, but as you're getting used to it, yeah, maybe you find it a little bit more tolerable. But still, if you haven't used this thing, yeah, you might be quite disoriented with that kind of thing. Just to remind you with that. And when you're finished with your waist level finder, don't forget to put the loop back, and you simply just close this down. There you go. It's tidy again. And let's change this into the normal viewfinder, the eye level one. There you go. It slides off very easily. And don't forget to set this to cover the A letter in here. There you go. Now it's locked and secure. Right. And put this back. And I also got one of these. Yep. So this is a telephoto lens, Primota 135mm f3.5, made by my Optic Görlitz in East Germany as well. And yep, this is with the original Praktina mount, which is very cool. And yeah, being it 135mm, it is quite long, as you can see. And yeah, despite the size, you may think this is quite heavy, but it isn't, because it's made of aluminium, just like this Tessa. And yeah, that's why I'm actually quite comfortable using this lens, despite it being quite long. And let's change that. Let's change the lens. Just find the small dot, and then you align that to the top of the mount. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so this is Praktina FX with Primota 135mm. Very cool thing to see. So this is the focusing screen, ring I mean, sorry. Very smooth, very nice feeling. And in here it's the focus aperture ring, I mean. And this is the preset type. What that means is, first you need to set the aperture that you want to use. Let's say you want to use f5.6. So first you have to press this towards you, this collar. I mean pull from you, and then rotate it to the f5.6 like that. To focus, you can rotate the aperture ring to the widest opening, and in this case it's f3.5. So let's do that. There. Focus shutter. Just look at in the viewfinder, and once you're done, you're about to take a photo. Briefly, you rotate the aperture ring to the farthest as possible, like this, and yeah, that automatically sets and stops to the aperture that you have just selected previously, which is f5.6. And there you go. Yeah, this is slightly backwards from the semi-automatic, and yeah, it's even more a little bit slower than the semi-automatic. Alright, the last thing from this camera is the back part. It's very barren, and to open this, you pull the latch in here down, and simply just do this. Yeah, it comes off like this, because KW offers a magazine that you can put freaking 70 meters of film to put in here. So yeah, it contains around 450 exposures. So yeah, you can just take photos forever with that. Very cool. And yeah, this is the film chamber of the Praktina FX. This is film chamber. This is the shutter and the shutter curtain. And this is the take-up spool in here, and this is the teeth gearing, and there you go. To put the camera back again, this is a little bit complicated. So first you start from the right of the camera, so in here put that, and then press this and you push the latch up. There you go. Just to remember to do that. Oh, and also being this an early 50s camera, yeah, of course this doesn't have light meter built inside the viewfinder, so you have to use one of these. Yeah, so this is a handheld light meter, and in this case it's 1970s Gosen Luna 6 III, and yeah, this has been my favorite handheld light meter. It always works and the results are simply great. And this also made in Germany, but it's West Germany. Besides the Praktina FX body and Tessa lens, and also the Primota, in the purchase I also got the case for the Primota here, and also the leather F3D case for the Praktina itself. This is very cool. Just look at that. It is all leather, which is very nice feeling. It's very sturdy, although sadly in here the strap is a bit thin and cracking, so yeah, I have to be a bit more careful with this, and yeah, possibly someday this has to be replaced eventually, but yeah, at least for now it still holds up. Alright, this is the end of the tour or full tour of 1955 Praktina FX from East Germany. Yeah, this is such a very interesting camera and historically important because this is the true first professional quality 35mm camera. As usual, don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Bye bye.